Triglycerides on fire, the secret revealed to cleanse your blood. Have you ever wondered why so many people suffer from heart problems even though they look healthy? What if there was a silent killer circling in your blood right now? What would happen if you discovered that small daily choices are programming a time bomb into your body? High triglycerides are one of the most underestimated and misunderstood health problems today. While everyone talks about cholesterol, few know that triglycerides can be an even more dangerous indicator of future heart problems. What you discover in the next few minutes could literally save your life or that of someone you love. I've prepared a comprehensive guide on how to identify, control, and reverse high triglyceride levels without expensive medications or invasive treatments. What is your current triglyceride level? If you don't know the answer, or if the number is above 150, this might be the most important video you'll watch this year. Every minute, someone suffers a heart attack related to metabolic problems that could have been prevented with correct information. Let's get started. The silent time bomb. Hidden in your blood. Triglycerides are a type of fat that serves as an energy reserve when you're fasting. When you go hours without eating, you can maintain your daily activities thanks to these energy reserves. A good part of this stock is triglycerides circulating in your blood. The problem starts when this stock becomes in excess, accumulating beyond what is necessary. It works like a cupboard where you store food for emergencies. A little is prudent, but overfilling causes problems. Your triglycerides follow the same logic. Excess overloads your circulatory system. Imagine a clean, crystalline river that gradually receives more and more sediment. Over time, the flow becomes slow, heavy, and prone to overflows. That's exactly what happens to your blood when triglycerides rise beyond normal. Your body turns all excess carbohydrates, sugars, and even proteins into triglycerides for storage. This evolutionary process has allowed us to survive in times of scarcity, but in the age of food abundance, it has become a metabolic trap. While our ancestors needed to store energy for long periods without food, today we consume calories constantly. Numbers that can save your life when your triglycerides become a danger. Normal triglyceride levels should be between 50 and 150 milligrams per deciliter when fasting. If you're not fasting, the acceptable upper limit rises slightly to 175 milligrams per deciliter. It is possible to perform the test without fasting, with adjustment in the reference range. The ideal is to perform the test after a fast of 8 to 12 hours, since we have more studies with values collected under these conditions. When your triglycerides exceed 150 milligrams per deciliter, your body starts sending warning signals. This is a major risk factor for heart disease and stroke, requiring immediate attention. Your triglycerides are like a thermometer for your future metabolic health. When levels exceed 500 or even 1,000 milligrams per deciliter, the situation becomes extremely worrying. Many people live with levels above 1,000 without knowing the danger they are in. These levels represent a risk factor for acute pancreatitis, a potentially serious inflammation of the pancreas. The cardiac sentence: how your triglycerides decide your future. High triglycerides aren't just numbers on a blood test. They're silent protagonists of a chain of damaging events. When persistently high, they infiltrate the walls of the arteries, contributing to the development of atherosclerotic plaques. These plaques are like scars that narrow your arteries, making it difficult for blood to pass through. Over time, these obstructions can completely block blood flow to the heart or brain. The result? Life-changing heart attacks and strokes in a matter of minutes. In addition, high triglyceride levels often accompany other metabolic problems like type 2 diabetes and metabolic syndrome. Studies show that people with triglycerides consistently above 200 milligrams per deciliter have up to 80% increased risk for cardiovascular events. The scariest thing is that many cardiologists still focus almost exclusively on cholesterol, underestimating the role of triglycerides. This outdated view leaves thousands of patients vulnerable, even when they follow medical recommendations. The good news is that, unlike cholesterol, where diet only affects 30% of levels, triglycerides are much more sensitive to lifestyle changes. Patients often arrive with triglycerides around 400 milligrams per deciliter, and return with normal levels close to 100 milligrams per deciliter after implementing the right changes. What causes high triglycerides? Your triglycerides don't rise by chance. They're the direct result of food and lifestyle choices. The main culprit is the excessive consumption of carbohydrates, especially refined ones and sugars. Your body quickly turns these foods into glucose, and the excess is converted into triglycerides. A sedentary lifestyle works as a catalyst in this destructive process. When you don't exercise regularly, these energy reserves remain intact, accumulating more and more. Genetic factors also play an important role, as some people are predisposed to higher levels. However, even with unfavorable genetics, lifestyle interventions can significantly counteract these risks. Medical conditions like hypothyroidism, uncontrolled diabetes, and kidney disease often raise your triglycerides. Medications such as corticosteroids, beta blockers, thiazide diuretics, and estrogens can also increase their levels. Alcohol consumption, even in moderate amounts, can skyrocket triglycerides in susceptible people. Some people see their levels double after a weekend of social drinking. Is it possible to reverse high triglycerides? The answer is an emphatic yes, and without necessarily resorting to medication. Many patients are able to normalize their levels in a matter of weeks with the right approaches. Your body has an incredible capacity for recovery when you offer the right conditions. Studies show that a reduction of just 5% in body weight can already significantly improve triglyceride levels. This modest weight loss has metabolic effects far beyond what one can imagine. The combination of proper nutrition and regular exercise can reduce triglycerides by up to 50% in just 3 months. This two-pronged approach tackles the problem at its root, reducing the intake of problematic nutrients and increasing the expenditure of reserves. The speed at which triglycerides are lowered is much faster than cholesterol, offering visible results in tests after weeks, not months. For extreme cases, where levels exceed 500 milligrams per deciliter, your doctor may temporarily recommend medications such as fibrates or prescription omega-3 fatty acids. These act as an emergency intervention while lifestyle changes begin to take effect. The key to lasting results lies in consistency and balance, not in unsustainable crash diets. Small changes maintained over time produce profound transformations in your metabolic profile. 11 hidden saboteurs who fire your triglycerides. 1. The sweet juice scam, the liquid trap that fattens your blood. Whole fruit juices like grapes, oranges, pineapples, and mangoes are often seen as healthy choices. In reality, they can be real saboteurs for those who monitor triglycerides. The extraction process removes the fiber and concentrates the sugars, creating a glycemic bomb. By removing the fiber from the fruit, you eliminate the component that slows down the absorption of sugar. The result is a rapid spike in blood glucose, followed by storage of excess as triglycerides. A single glass of whole grape juice contains more sugar than a can of soda, but disguised with the label of natural. It is always preferable to consume the whole fruit, obtaining the fibers that promote satiety and regulate the absorption of sugars. When you eat an orange, the fibers present slow down the digestion of natural sugars. To keep your health up to date, it's best to avoid sweetened beverages altogether, including fruit juices. 2. Traitor Vegetables, the starches that explode your triglycerides. Surprisingly, certain starchy vegetables can significantly raise your triglycerides. Corn, peas, and potatoes are among the villains masquerading as heroes in many healthy diets. These vegetables can raise your triglycerides more than you might think. Consuming large amounts of corn, for example, provides a substantial load of starch that quickly converts to triglycerides when left unused. It is important to clarify that these foods are not intrinsically harmful to health. For people with normal triglyceride levels, they can be part of a balanced diet. This advice is specifically aimed at those who already have high triglycerides. Leafy vegetables, cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower, and those with a lower glycemic index are excellent alternatives. These provide essential nutrients without the negative impact on triglycerides. 3. The fats conspiracy, the daily poison on your table. Fats such as margarine, butter, coconut oil, and lard are often consumed without awareness of their impact on triglycerides. These fats, rich in saturated fatty acids, can skyrocket their levels quickly. Regular consumption establishes a metabolic pattern that is difficult to reverse without conscious intervention. Most of the composition of these fats is made up of saturated fatty acids, which make it difficult for the liver to process healthy lipids. If you need to choose between butter and margarine, opt for margarine. This does not mean that it is a healthy or recommended option, just that it contains less saturated fat. Replace these fats with olive oil or avocado, rich in monounsaturated fats that benefit your lipid profile. The switch not only lowers triglycerides, but also improves other indicators of cardiovascular health. 4. The illusion of the healthy fish, when the good becomes a villain. There is a great deal of promotion about the consumption of fish as a healthy food, and rightly so. However, oil-pickled fish can sabotage your efforts to control triglycerides. The additional oil, even when plant-based, adds unnecessary calories to a naturally nutritious food. The best choice is to opt for fresh fish or fish preserved in water. Interestingly, these products are usually available side by side on supermarket shelves for the same price. A single oil-pickled fish can add up to 100 extra calories without adding significant nutritional benefits. To enhance the flavor of fish in water, try adding lemon, fresh herbs, or spices. These alternatives improve taste without compromising health benefits. 5. The dangerous white powder. How flour sabotages your health. Wheat flour, present in pasta, pizzas, cakes, and breads, is a real saboteur for those who monitor triglycerides or diabetes. These foods cause carbohydrate overload that quickly turns into triglycerides. Industrial processing removes fiber and nutrients, leaving only fast-absorbing carbohydrates. A simple sandwich with 2 slices of white bread can raise your triglycerides for up to 6 hours after consumption. Refined flour behaves very similarly to sugar in your system. Both are quickly digested and absorbed, causing insulin spikes and subsequent fat storage. Alternatives such as wholemeal, almond, or coconut flours offer options with less glycemic impact. These contain more fiber, protein, and nutrients that slow down the digestion and absorption of carbohydrates. 6. The silent addiction, the sugar that turns your blood. Refined sugar is possibly the #1 enemy for anyone looking to control triglycerides. Adding sugar to your diet significantly impairs lipid metabolism. A clear example is adding sugar to coffee, turning a potentially beneficial beverage into something harmful. Every tablespoon of sugar added to coffee progressively eliminates its benefits and increases the risk of triglyceride buildup. For those who have trouble with sugar or refined carb metabolism, cutting out added sugar altogether can cause dramatic reductions in triglycerides. This is one of the most impactful changes you can make to improve your lipid profile. If you're looking to sweeten foods and beverages, consider natural sweeteners like stevia. There are no consistent studies proving that these sweeteners are harmful, making them viable alternatives to sugar. 7. The deadly disguise. The truth about processed meats. Processed meats such as salami, ham, and industrialized turkey breast are often considered convenient and even healthy options. In reality, they are rich in saturated fats, sodium, and preservatives that negatively affect your triglycerides. In addition, they contain high levels of nitrates and nitrites, which are associated with an increased risk of intestinal cancer. Every 50 grams of processed meat a day increases the risk of colorectal cancer by approximately 18%, in addition to raising triglycerides. Special emphasis should be placed on chicken skin, which is often consumed by many people. This part is rich in saturated fats and should be avoided by anyone who cares about cardiovascular health. Replace processed meats with fresh, lean options like chicken breast, fish, lean cuts of red meat, and legumes. These alternatives provide quality protein without the problematic additives. 8. Liquid seduction. Drinks that destroy your metabolism. Sugary drinks and sodas are true. Sugar concentrates that dramatically impact your triglycerides. A single can of soda contains approximately 35 grams of sugar, the equivalent of almost 9 teaspoons. This liquid sugar is quickly absorbed, causing insulin spikes and subsequent triglyceride formation. People who consume soft drinks regularly have, on average, 30% higher triglycerides than those who don't consume them. The best drink for your triglycerides remains plain water. Unsweetened teas and black coffee are also excellent options that don't negatively impact your lipid profile. If you want flavor, try natural infusions with herbs, spices, or fruits in water. These alternatives provide flavor and even nutritional benefits without the devastating effects of sugar. 9. The pleasure that kills. Alcohol and the explosion of triglycerides. Alcohol is one of the biggest saboteurs for those looking to control triglycerides. Not only does it affect metabolism in general, but it's also extraordinarily caloric. Each gram of alcohol contains approximately 7 kilocalories, almost double the 4 kilocalories present in each gram of sugar. A weekend of moderate alcohol consumption can raise your triglycerides by up to 100% in susceptible people. You should avoid alcohol altogether if you're seriously committed to lowering your triglycerides. This is one of the measures that produces the most significant results, especially for beer lovers. For social occasions, try non-alcoholic alternatives like sparkling water and lemon, unsweetened kombucha, or iced teas. These options allow for social participation without compromising your health goals. 10. The golden temptation. Fried foods that poison your blood. Fried foods and fast food represent a particularly harmful combination for your triglycerides. These items combine refined carbohydrates with hydrogenated or saturated fats at high temperatures, creating potentially inflammatory compounds. A single fast food snack can raise your triglycerides for up to 24 hours after consumption. Trans fats, often present in commercial fried foods, are especially harmful to the lipid profile. These artificial fats raise LDL, or bad cholesterol, while simultaneously raising triglycerides. Alternative preparation methods such as baking, grilling, steaming, or air fryer can provide satisfying flavors with much less metabolic impact. These techniques preserve the flavor without adding the problematic fats. 11. Treacherous natural candies. Fruits that fire up your triglycerides. Surprisingly, certain fruits with a high glycemic index, such as bananas, mangoes, and grapes, need to be consumed with caution by those who monitor triglycerides. These fruits are not prohibited, but they require special attention due to their higher natural sugar content. Consuming half a banana with a protein or healthy fat source reduces its impact on triglycerides by up to 50%. An effective strategy is to consume smaller portions of these fruits after physical activity, when your body is more sensitive to insulin. At these times, sugars are more likely to be used as immediate energy rather than converted into triglycerides. For those who love these fruits but need to control triglycerides, try less ripe versions that contain less sugar. Combine them with protein or healthy fats to slow down the absorption of sugars. 9 powerful saviors who transform your health. 1. The invisible miracle. Fibers that cleanse your blood. Adding fiber like chia, flaxseed, and pumpkin seeds to your diet is a powerful strategy for lowering triglycerides. These tiny seeds improve absorption, digestion, and reduce the glycemic index of your meals. They work like sponges in the digestive system, capturing some of the sugars and fats before they are completely absorbed. 1 tablespoon of chia seeds can absorb up to 10 times its weight in water, creating a physical barrier to the absorption of sugars. Regular consumption of chia and flaxseed is extremely beneficial for triglyceride control and overall cardiovascular health. These seeds contain plant-based omega-3 fatty acids, which are known for their anti-inflammatory effects. Many people will ask about oats, often promoted as a high-fiber food. While healthy for many, oats should be avoided by those specifically looking to reduce triglycerides due to their high carbohydrate content. 2. The Mediterranean liquid gold. The power of olive oil. Olive oil, which is rich in monounsaturated fats, can increase HDL, good cholesterol, and help control triglycerides. If you're not using lard or coconut oil, olive oil is an excellent alternative. It contains anti-inflammatory compounds that benefit the entire cardiovascular system, not just triglycerides. The polyphenols present in extra virgin olive oil block inflammatory enzymes in a similar way to anti-inflammatory medications, but naturally. Many question whether olive oil can be heated, such as for sautéing vegetables. The answer is yes. Olive oil will not lose its benefits when heated in domestic stoves. You can't reach the smoke point of olive oil at home, so there's no need to worry. The benefits of olive oil are so significant that studies show a reduction in cardiovascular events by up to 30% in populations that consume it regularly. This simple change in your kitchen can transform your cardiovascular health in the long run. 3. The diagnosis that saves. Secret diseases that affect your triglycerides. For high triglycerides, it is crucial to check for other underlying medical conditions. I will specifically highlight thyroid problems, which are often ignored in the evaluation of lipid disorders. Hypothyroidism can significantly raise triglycerides, even when the diet is apparently adequate. Up to 13% of patients with persistently elevated triglycerides have undiagnosed hypothyroidism as an underlying cause. Proper thyroid treatment often normalizes triglycerides without the need for lipid-specific medications. Sometimes you may be doing everything right by following all of the previous tips, but a thyroid change can still raise your triglycerides. In addition to thyroid, uncontrolled diabetes, polycystic ovary syndrome, and chronic kidney disease can also significantly impact triglycerides. An accurate diagnosis of these conditions may be the key to normalizing your lipid profile. 4. The allowable sweetness. Fruits that heal your metabolism. Fruits with a low glycemic index, such as guava, plums, and unpeeled apples, are excellent alternatives for those who monitor triglycerides. There is a popular saying that, "An apple a day keeps the doctor away," and there is truth in this wisdom. Apples are extremely healthy, containing pectin that aids in satiety and metabolic control. Regular consumption of berries can reduce inflammatory markers associated with metabolic changes by up to 25%. Red fruits such as cherries and strawberries are also excellent choices. Lemon and passion fruit are equally beneficial for their low sugar content. To maximize the benefits and minimize the impact on triglycerides, consume whole fruits with peel when possible, and combine them with protein or healthy fats. This strategy reduces the glycemic impact and prolongs the feeling of satiety. 5. The time machine. Exercises that rejuvenate your blood. Physical exercise can drastically reduce triglycerides, whether running, walking, going to the gym, or swimming. You've already understood that triglycerides are about storing energy. When there's excess stock, levels rise. An effective way to address this is by utilizing the energy stored through regular physical activity. Just 30 minutes of brisk walking, 5 times a week, can lower your triglycerides by up to 30% in 3 months. Exercise not only burns triglycerides directly, but also increases insulin sensitivity. This metabolic improvement decreases the conversion of carbohydrates into triglycerides, creating a virtuous circle. Consistency is more important than intensity. Moderate exercise performed regularly has more benefits than sporadic intense sessions. Find activities that you genuinely enjoy, increasing the chances of sticking with the habit in the long run. 6. Deep sea treasure, the fish that regenerate your health. Fish rich in omega-3s, such as salmon, sardines, tuna, and mackerel, are true treasures for cardiovascular health. These essential fatty acids reduce hepatic triglyceride production and increase their elimination. Regular consumption of these fish can transform their lipid profile in a few weeks. The EPA and DHA acids found in fatty fish can reduce triglycerides by up to 50% in adequate doses. The American Heart Association recommends consuming fatty fish at least twice a week. For those who already have high triglycerides, this frequency can be increased to 3 or 4 times. Always opt for healthier preparations such as grilled, roasted, or boiled. Avoid breading or preparations with creamy sauces that add harmful calories and fats. 7. Ultimate liberation: how to quit sugar and be reborn. Completely eliminating refined sugar from the diet is one of the most impactful measures to reduce triglycerides. As mentioned in the coffee example, Adding sugar turns a healthy beverage into something potentially harmful. This simple change can produce extraordinary results in your lipid profile. A typical American adult consumes approximately 77 grams of sugar daily, more than triple the WHO recommendation. If you add sugar to juices like lemon or passion fruit, you're negating their benefits and harming your metabolic health. This type of addition should be completely eliminated if you are committed to lowering triglycerides. The elimination of refined sugar often triggers a cascade of metabolic benefits beyond the reduction of triglycerides. Patients report better sleep quality, more energy, less inflammation, and reduced compulsive food cravings. Your overall health thrives when you free your body from dependence on this ultra-processed ingredient. 8. The protective shield. Antioxidants that shield your metabolism. Antioxidant-rich foods like colorful fruits, vegetables, teas, and spices offer protection against oxidative stress. This inflammatory process is closely linked to dyslipidemias, including elevated triglycerides. Regular consumption of these foods creates a metabolic shield against cell damage. Daily consumption of dark green vegetables is associated with 23% lower triglyceride levels in population studies. Spices such as turmeric, cinnamon, ginger, and garlic not only enrich the flavor of meals, but also have bioactive compounds that improve lipid metabolism. Cinnamon, for example, improves insulin sensitivity, while turmeric has potent anti-inflammatory properties. Green and black teas contain catechins and other polyphenols that improve endothelial function and reduce oxidative stress. Consuming 2 to 3 cups daily can contribute significantly to overall cardiovascular health. Dark cocoa, over 70% cocoa, contains flavonoids that improve vascular function and reduce inflammation. A small daily serving can be part of a strategy to improve the lipid profile. 9. The transformation revealed. The ideal weight that revolutionizes your triglycerides. Weight management is critical to triglyceride management. One study found that just 5% weight loss already significantly improves triglyceride levels. This modest reduction is within the reach of virtually anyone committed to sustainable change. The loss of each pound of visceral fat can reduce triglycerides by up to 8 milligrams per deciliter in individuals with dyslipidemia. Being overweight, especially visceral, abdominal fat, increases insulin resistance and hepatic triglyceride production. Reducing this fat improves insulin sensitivity and normalizes lipid metabolism. No radical or unsustainable diets are necessary. Small, consistent changes produce lasting results. Replacing processed foods with whole grain options, controlling portions, and increasing physical activity are proven effective strategies. Healthy weight loss not only benefits your triglycerides, but also improves other metabolic markers like glucose, blood pressure, and cholesterol. This synergistic effect multiplies the benefits for your cardiovascular health. You've reached the end of this journey of knowledge on how to transform your triglycerides, and consequently, your cardiovascular health. Each suggested change represents an opportunity to rewrite your metabolic future. Remember, small daily choices build big results over time. Don't feel overwhelmed trying to implement all the changes at once. Start by choosing 1 or 2 strategies that seem most feasible for your current reality. As these become habits, gradually add other changes to your lifestyle. Their triglycerides did not rise overnight, and their normalization also requires time and consistency. Celebrate every small victory and don't be discouraged by any setbacks. They are part of any transformation process. True success lies in persistence, not perfection. Every time you choose a healthy food or decide to move around, you're literally rebuilding your body cell by cell. Share your knowledge with family and friends. Cardiovascular health is a universal concern that affects virtually every family. Your example and information can inspire transformations beyond your own journey. Finally, remember to work in partnership with healthcare professionals. These strategies are powerful, but each organism is unique and deserves a personalized plan. Your commitment to health, combined with proper professional guidance, can produce truly extraordinary results. The choice is yours, and the time is now. Your arteries, your heart, and every cell in your body await your next decisions. What will you choose for your next lunch, your next meal, your next day?